Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you're doing great this morning. It is a beautiful Friday morning. What more could you ask for? The sun will be shining somewhere. It probably is shining. And it could also be raining. It also might be nighttime. But for me, it's morning. So good morning to you. Let's see. Hope you've had a wonderful evening. Or you're having a wonderful day wherever it is that you might be. Damn. Got a little bit of a frog in my throat. I think you're alone now. Well, good to see you, JD. I hope you don't stay alone for very long. Go Richie. I'm going to be singing that all day now. I hope you do. I hope it puts a smile on your face every time that you think about it. Glad you could be of service. Good morning, Star Z. Good to see you. Oh, good morning, Daniel Barry Sports Highlights. Oh my, oh my. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. Good morning, Shadow Grey Wolf. Good to see you. Hey, Captain Kern. Morning. I think maybe somewhat. Yeah. Grab your coffee. Grab your sack. Give it a little squeeze. No, your coffee. Not your sack, because that might hurt. But I mean, if it's your thing, do what you want to do. Kathy, Gordon, good to see you. Good morning. Good cheers. Oh my gosh. It's so good to see all you fine folks. Good morning, JD fan. Morning, Mary Waltz. Good to see you. T Underwood. Good morning, Shizzy and Shizzy groupies. Hey, we like having our groupies here. You know, we have a good time. And the sex isn't bad either. Just saying. Current auto text. I know that feeling. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, it is going to be a great day today. I've got a lot on my plate today. Oh man, do I have a lot on my plate today. It's a good feeling to know that you don't work on Fridays. Although I'll probably have to be doing just a couple of things in the office. That's the also the unfortunate thing about, working for your wife. She says, "No, I think I'm going to give you Fridays off so that way you can get all of these little projects that I want you to do done." Yeah, that's sort of how it works, but it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad deal. I get a lot of stuff done around the house, and yeah, today is going to be no different. I've got problems with my 3D printer that I need to figure out. It's gonna take a little bit of time. I think I've got some bad Bondex gears. I've done everything but replace the whole nozzle and tip, but everything everything's coming out of it like it should. But I think the gears are shot, which it happens. I mean, I put it through hell before I had to break the whole thing down. So I think that's what's gone wrong with it. Good morning, Megan. Great. Oh yeah, it was wonderful to talk with you this morning on with the Traveling Fools. That was really cool. It was really cool. Really enjoyed it. Um, yeah, yeah. Megan's good people. Megan's good people. Yeah, we talked a little bit about the about about California, and Megan was there walking that campus, so she feels close ties with that, and she just it was really nice talking with you this morning. If I need help with 3D printers, I can help. Yeah, I like I said, it is one of those things where I really put it through a big stress test. I think what I did was damage it whenever I was doing the like 12-day print, something like 12 days, 13, 15 days, something like that of this large piece. I think that one of the problems I ran into, and I didn't realize it at the time. I think that the weight of the spool that was being pulled, just caused the gear to strip out, like wore them down to a point where they don't quite work like they're supposed to. And now that I've got the printer set back up, I've been trying to get it to print, but it makes all kinds of grindy noises. I've cleaned the tubing on it, the pipe, to the Teflon tubing's already been cleaned out. It should be working. but gets some nice pops in it. It's not fun. Like I said, it's one of those where I'm probably going to have to reprint a couple of parts for it. Um, and because it was up and running like really good, and then all of a sudden it went bleh, no more. Good morning, Iron Rabbit. Good to see you. Thank you so much. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Oh yeah, remember to change from top chat to live chat. See all the spicy comments. Hit the like, thumbs up, strike it. Yeah, I have this one particular thing that I'm trying to do. What the hell was it? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, there was these college students yesterday, as a lot of people saw, that were protesting things out, and that's what we want them to do. Just protest it out. And why is it? Yeah, they've already basically said, oh, it goes against community guidelines. Everything was good until yesterday, and then they said, no, we're gonna strike you for community guidelines. Nah. Well, that's how it goes. Like this morning's, for whatever reason, after I got it all set up, which I spent a good amount of time getting it all set up, for whatever reason, it tends to give me this problem that I've not been able to figure out how they're able to get rid of. First of all, my trailers, because I set that up. They they've given that away. My redirects that I set up, they've taken those away. It's just every damn morning I have to go through this damn thing of getting this like straight, and it's driving me absolutely nutso. Um, Cancel that. Hit save. Yeah, I've done this multiple times, and it's just everything's giving me a hard time. Technically, dummy when it comes to 3D printer uh used for per se. I don't know. I don't know what that is supposed to be. But what ended up happening with the protesters? Oh, well, we've got some some wonderful news. Hey, Melanie Beeman, good to see you. Well, I'll reach out if I have to. Index printers, Core XYs, bed slingers. Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It is it's one of those where you have to start from scratch and work your way down. Good morning, everyone. Hope you all have a wonderful day. And I do have a new hot end, but I don't think I'm going to be needing to put that in. It's one of those things. One of those things. So what we've got this morning, and let me go back here, real here. Where is it? We go into viewing control room. I've been doing this YouTube thing for a little bit, and sometimes, yeah, there we go. Now it looks like it's doing what it's supposed to do. Yeah, there we go. I have to get that set up because whenever I get the music portion of this, that we have to we have to pull it up anyway. But here's where we've got all of this shenanigans going on. So Megan was asking about it. This is what I already had up. This was the first thing that I was going to be talking about this morning because, well, why not? It is over 2,200 people during pro-Palestinian protests at colleges' campuses across the United States in recent weeks, sometimes using riot gear, tactical vehicles, and flashbang devices to clear tent encampments in occupied buildings. One officer accidentally discharged his gun inside a Columbia University building while clearing out protesters camped inside. No one was injured by the officer's mistake late Tuesday inside Hamilton Hall on Columbia campus, the NYPD said Thursday. He was trying to use the flashlight attached to his gun at the time and instead fired a single round that struck a frame on the wall. Wow. There were other officers, but no students in the immediate vicinity, officials say. Body camera footage shows the officer's gun went off, but the district attorney's office is conducting a review, a standard practice. Yeah, keep your finger off the trigger if you're going to be doing this. Yes, it's a good start to the day when they say 2,200 were arrested. Uh, no, you don't have to ever keep quiet. Ever. You make as much noise as you like. That is a good start to the day. 2,200 arrested. Yeah. 2,200 arrested and 2,200 set of charges dropped. Yep. That is correct. Correcto mundo. And more than 100 people were taken into custody during Colombia crackdown, just a fraction of the total arrests stemming from recent campus protests over over BS. Yeah, you see these little fools right here. You see them. You see them. You look at them. You love them. This is a concerted effort. There's not blood on their helmet. It's good for the camera. Oh, it looks like they're being abused so much. Now, if you look over here at these officers, see all that powder, that right there, that powder that you're seeing, that light dusting, that's from having fire extinguishers from these morons sprayed in their face. Yeah, that's the kind of tactics that they're playing. The AP recorded at least 56 incidents of arrests at 43 different colleges or universities since April 18th. The figures are based on AP reporting. Yeah, that's pretty much down. And this is of course, we've got our dramatic pictures. Oh, look, the lighting. You have to hit the lighting just right. What they don't show you in this picture, should have you concerned. Good morning, precious bud. Oh, dear God, do you ever sleep, man? Well, usually at night. I sleep all the time. How you doing, Crime Spies? It is good to see you. I do sleep. And I sleep really well. It's amazing how it works that I'm able to get some rest. Because you would think that my sorry ass doesn't sleep at all, but that is not true. I sleep like a baby at night. I sleep like a baby at night, and it is a good thing that I get some decent restages. There's what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so the early I'll close that. I don't have to have that air anymore. Oh yeah, well, as I was saying, you don't see where they spray painted all over the sides of this building. So this is probably pretty early on where they defaced the building entirely. Early Thursday, officers surged against a crowd of demonstrators at the University of California, ultimately taking at least 200 protesters into custody after hundreds defied orders to leave, some forming human change as police fired flashbangs to break up the crowd. Well, what they also show is that it wasn't about these protesters locking chains or locking arms for making human chains. Before that, they set up to occupy the building. They put chains on buildings, which would have been dangerous had somebody been inside and the building had possibly started on fire. That could have led to somebody being seriously injured. They also, you woken up by the cats fighting under the door, so basically on the wrong side of the bed. I know that feeling. See, I don't have to worry about waking up on the wrong side of the bed because my wife sleeps on that side. Um, just kidding. That sounds so bad. Y'all, you're lagging this morning. Your coffee connection is too low. Well, it is okay. It is absolutely okay to have I got a sliver in my finger yesterday. It's just bugging the ever living piss out of me. That's what happens. That's what happens. So these protesters, because I'm about as squirrel as I possibly can get. They decided they were going to occupy an area, take over the campus. They don't go to school there. Good portion of them don't go to school. There's a few that at the very end were being arrested, and they go to school. And me personally, I think that, hey, you want to peacefully protest, but if they ask you to leave, you peacefully leave. You don't take over the damn quad. There's a reason why they don't want you disturbing classes, especially coming this close. Tell you what, if you really, really wanted to protest this, on October 7th of last year, you would have been all locked in arms all the way through the Christmas holidays. You would have done your little strike all through the holidays. But see, it's gotten warmer out, and it allows you more time to be sitting around being a real pain in somebody's ass. And this is the kind of crap that happens. And you notice that they're not doing anything more at UCLA. They just sort of went away. Did the tent encampments go away? Let's see. They left it in absolute devastation. They're on to the next college campus. Well, and also that, and moms probably told them that, they got to get lunch. Lunchtime, kids. Yeah, they'll as soon as they get out of jail, they will be moving on to another campus. And of course, you will see that happen more than likely. I would probably give it around Monday, Tuesday. They'll start rolling into the next campus. And then by Thursday, they'll be pulling the same shenanigans because they've figured out how the news cycle works. They have to give enough time and opportunity for the popo to get there. They have to give them enough time for them to get their little gatherings together, their little group all up in arms, and get the college students worked up, get them converted over, and then they will, have everything in place. Got to figure out where you can get the buckets from, the bricks, the tents. Who's going to ship those there? They've got people in the wings just waiting. Still can't believe I walked through there in 22. It just breaks your heart. I know, Megan. It is so heartbreaking for it. Yes. Well, the college students that took over an administration building and demanded food be brought to them, those weren't college students. Understand this, wicked. Those were not college students. As much as you like to think that it was college students, it is not. It was not about them at all. It was a college professor. Here, I'll explain. Let me open this up in a new tab and this one up in a new tab, and then I will show this to you. And just so you understand what we're talking about here. And it's this one right here. This particular person. Just listen to what they have to say. Gotta put your cinnamon rolls in the oven.
Well, first of all, we're saying that they're obligated to provide food to students who pay for a meal plan here.
But you mentioned that there was a request that food and water be brought in, unless I misunderstood.
To allow it to be brought in. I mean, well, I guess it's ultimately a question of what kind of community and obligation Columbia feels it has to its students. Do you want students to die of dehydration and starvation,
the
or
matching
get severely ill,
scarves that
even if they disagree with you? If the answer is no, then you should allow basic. I mean, it's crazy to say because we're on an Ivy League campus, but this is like basic humanitarian aid we're asking for. Like, could people please have a glass of water?
And I'll show you all that here in just a second, because it's pretty awesome once you start seeing what she's up to.
So it seems like you're sort of saying,
and it's
we want to be revolutionaries. We want to take over this building. Now, would you please bring us food and water?
Nobody's asking them to bring anything. We're asking them to not violently stop us from bringing in basic humanitarian aid.
They're stopping this.
This is not humanitarian aid.
We are looking for a commitment from them that they will not stop it.
They don't need to do anything and stop with the local fry.
I don't know to what extent it has been attempted, but we're looking for a commitment.
So that we've got that interesting little thing. But see, there's this wonderful thing about Twitter that you can have now, and it's called sort of fact checking. And what it is this right here. Is if you look at it, it says her claims are misleading. Per Columbia, campus dining is open. John Day Dining Hall, Fact Shack, JJ's Place, they're open. Humanitarian aid is saving lives through the most dire situation, violent conflict, natural disasters. Students can leave if they want. Did you find it helpful? That's what you can do with X now, is you can actually pull these things up. And don't care. Here we go. Here's their piece that they actually go to. What's open South Lawn East Campus and Wien residents. In light of the campus access restrictions, the following locations are open to residents: Hartley, Wallach, John Jay, Funeral, East Campus, and Wien residents. What's open for others: dining plan holders. Students who do not live in the buildings listed above should use flex balances of off-campus locations. Closures on May 3rd. These units are closed. Moving forward, subject to change. Grace Hall, John Jay, Faculty House, Butler Blue Java, Mike's Sub Shop, Chef John's Pizza, and Lennis Cafe. But the rest of them, they're open. They're operating from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. So they open at midnight. They go until 10 o'clock at night, and then they're closed for 2 hours in between. It's JJ's Place, 11 a.m. So they open at 11 a.m. They close at 5 p.m. They open at 8 a.m. and they close at 7:30 p.m. in the commons room. So food is not a problem. You just have to be there for it. Well, also there's this other wonderful thing that they talk about, which they kept on, yelling, well, we're not getting any humanitarian aid. And so what they explain is humanitarian aid or humanitarian assistance is emergency help for people in some of the world's most desperate situations. Typically, beneficiaries are facing crises like violent conflict, natural disasters, or economic turmoil, or many of these threats simultaneously. The coup has compounded urgency, and in 21, some 235 million people are expected to need humanitarian aid like food, clean water, shelter, medicine, medical care, and protection. Countries in greatest need are Afghanistan, the Republic of Congo, Ethiopia, Sudan, Syria, Yemen, providing humanitarian assistance to the world's most vulnerable people and projected to cost more than $35 billion in US dollars. Humanitarian aid is not about creating long-term development in stable communities. Rather, it helps save lives in the here and now. No matter where people live and what they're facing, it aligns with the universal humanitarian imperative. We all have the right to receive aid and the right to offer it. So what they're basically saying is just giving a good description of humanitarian aid. And these are people that need humanitarian aid, not some privileged little white bitch that wants to protest a fucking war. Sorry. Inconveniently, she's a campaign organizer to the Democrat Party. Yes. That particular person that we were just reading about. She is her name is Johanna King Schletsky, and she's a Democrat campaign organizer and is currently a paid instructor at Columbia University, where she is writing her doctoral dissertation on the theories of energy in romantic literature, according to her LinkedIn bio. Yeah. That is her. And we will show just a little bit of about her right here. So we've got this one right here. Joanna King Schletsky. My dissertation on fantasies of limitless energy is the transatlantic romantic imagination from 1760 to 1860. My goal is to write prehistoric metabolic rift, Marx's term for the disruption of energy circuits caused by industrialization under capitalism. I'm particularly interested in theories of the imagination and poetry as interpreted through a Marxian lens in order to update and propose an alternative to historist ideological critiques of the romantic imagination. Prior to joining Columbia, I worked as a political strategist for leftist and progressive causes and remain active in the higher education labor movement. Yeah, and you notice that her picture disappeared. So, yeah, that's who you're dealing with. Yep, no photo. Exactly. She will probably have taxpayer funded job her whole life. Yeah, or she'll stay in college her whole life. She should have planned better and thought it brought food before she started to protest. Yes, she should have. Hey, Mrs. Mack, good to see you. Glad you can make it. Oh my gosh. It is one of those things where you just go, man, these people, glad you cleared that up. Hey, no problem. And don't just give it all me the thanks. That was a lot of Volstorm actually pulling that information up and forwarding that stuff to me. Um, that's because Volstorm is a damn awesome human being. Just saying, he's a pretty damn awesome human being. A little tired, but that's a given. Well, it does happen. It does happen. Being a little tired early in the morning is is to be expected. So that all that stuff being said about these foolishnesses of these peoples, we are back on topic. Hopefully, so they've the police did more than fire flashbangs into the crowds. What they did was you fire rubber bullets that made sure that they tagged them quite sufficiently. They tore down the little plywood walls that they had constructed. They set all of those aside. They tore down the tents that they were using so they could cover up and hide the kind of shenanigans that they were doing. Then they proceeded to arrest each individual. They gave them opportunity to leave, which they still didn't do. They gave them opportunities to not be arrested. Some of them didn't take that opportunity to not be arrested, and then they continued on. Now, this is a strategy that they've been doing for quite some time. It is part of divest. There's a particular name, and I can't remember the whole acronyms that they have it, but this is something that Alan Omar is very much in has been proposing, is that they divest all funding that comes from Israel, all colleges to fund anything supporting Israel. They defund businesses. They don't want you doing any sort of work with them anywhere close to them. If they've even looked at Israel or have a Jew working for them, they want to make sure that you're not allowed to do that. There's quite a few things that I've seen out, been throwing up on Twitter during all of this anti-Palestinian or Palestine whatever rhetoric that they've been throwing out, and it's no different than you were hearing at a certain period of time in a little country that was run by a German artist, and that particular group had this thing where they were saying, oh, well, the Jews are running the country. They have all of the money in the world. They're all bankers. They're rich bankers. We need to do something to stop them. This is the same kind of rhetoric that was heard at that period of time. And you're going to see a lot more of this coming up in the next few months because it is important to them. Now, they're not too concerned with what's happening at the southern border, about the illegals that keep coming across the border. You notice that whenever you have some big story like this, well, they just sort of they get really quiet about everything else. I mean, if you look at AP's top stories that they have running up here, they have look at their top stories. This is their top stories. They want to talk about the Israel Hamas war, which is also the same that has to do with the college protests. And then, of course, they have to be fair, so they can't just talk about all of the little garbage that that Biden is promoting here. Well, now you have this one right here, which also ties in with this one because they are fair. They got to talk about the Trump and the abortions because that's what that's sort of the way that they go. The only problem is with all of their bullshit is that it just rolls up in smoke. It just is a bunch of garbage that everybody is thinking that, oh yeah, this is just absolutely horrible. And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be horrible, but it is, because they are so busy just eating it up that they have nothing better to do than eat up all of the kind of bull stuff that they can possibly can. It's just garbage, just absolute garbage. when all of the media is focusing on one thing, what are they avoiding talking about? Because there is one thing that they've been avoiding talking about. We'll get to that. That's for a little bit later on. So Israel has branded the protest as anti-Semitic. No, whenever you're doing anti-Semitic things, it's anti-Semitic. Whenever you're screaming death to Israel, that would be anti-Semitic. There's no two ways about it. That if that's what you're calling for, if you're calling for the elimination of an entire race of people, like you're actively calling for it, that's the pure definition of anti-Semitism. When you blame the Jews for everything, that is anti-Semitism. While Israel critics say it uses those allegations to silence opposition. Although some protesters have been caught on camera making those remarks, violent threats, protest organizers, some of whom are Jewish, call it a peaceful movement to defend Palestinian rights and protest the war. No, they're doing it to grift. The whole thing makes me mad. I'm going to blow crap plane Fallout. There you go. President Joe Biden on Thursday defended the right of students to peaceful protests, but decried the disorder of recent days. And you remember during the Summer of Love, whenever everybody was protesting, and there was this thing that happened in Charleston. What wasn't in Charleston where did they tear down some statues? They were tearing down some statues, and somebody said, "Oh, they're fine to protest. We, as long as they're doing it peacefully, we have, fine people on both sides of this, and it's the people in the middle that are getting caught up on it. That you got your extremists on one side or the other. No different than what Biden said. But of course, the AP has made it sound like, oh, he's defending the rights of these people to protest, but it's not the students that are protesting. It is the little anti-fascists, the Antifas that have come rolling in and causing all of these problems. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You be good. You be good. We'll see you soon. These are the problems that have caused all of the issues. The demonstrations began in Colombia on April 17th. Why was it April 17th? What is so special about April 17th? That's right, because they're making plans on having graduation. And you got to disrupt the graduation because these are non-college students or ex-college students that have probably been thrown out, possibly some of them for, essay, things like that, they don't want them on college campuses anymore because, well, they cause too many problems. And they've probably been thrown out of colleges for their shenanigans. And now they're showing up and causing problems. Fiery but mostly peaceful process. Yeah, the gaslights couldn't have been what now they call them. Oh, it's mostly just peaceful protesters. Like they're not even trying to hide it anymore. An Austrian artist who was a vegetarian environmentalist, pro-abortion leader who came to lead Germany as an illegal immigrant. Is that what you meant, Shizzy? Yeah. Well, then thank you very much for clearing that up, JW. Yeah, you remember the Summer of Love. It was in 1967, you idiots. Rabbit's right. It was in 1967. Oh, yes. Good morning, dear. Hello, Jimmy. Good to see you, Iron Rabbit. So, according to the health ministry there, Israel launched its offensive in Gaza after Hamas killed, somewhere about, 1,200 people, which were mostly civilians on October 7th. But why are they waiting until April 17th for something that happened on October 7th? They took roughly 250 hostages in an attack on southern Israel. But, well, of course, on April 18th, NYPD, they came in, they cleared out the encampment, they arrested roughly 100 protesters. Demonstrators set up new tents and defied threats of suspension and escalated their actions. Wait, if they were arrested, then how did the demonstrators set up new tents? Because if they were arrested, demonstrators set up new tents, defied threats of suspension. But these were different people. The 100 that were arrested, some of them might have been released, probably went right back to it. But who paid to have the new tent set up? Where did all of these people come from? Well, you go feed the babies, Iron Rabbit. You go feed the babies. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. An administration building was similarly seized. Oh, yeah, they were occupying Hamilton Hall. It was an administrative building that was similarly seized in 1968 by students protesting racism and the Vietnam War. Well, which one was it? Because I doubt they were protesting both. Some of them might have been protesting one, but some others might have been protesting another. So it's a possibility it was for both reasons. So roughly 20 hours later, they didn't even give them 24 hours. Damn. Officers stormed the hall. Video shows police with zip ties and riot shields streaming through the second floor window. Police have said protesters inside the presented no substantial resistance. Well, of course, why would they? They never do. These are fools to believe that you even could sufficiently do anything for this. It is amazing to me that they even thought that they were any sort of special kind of people. Looking at something I got to mute this. You'll understand whenever you see this next one. As they come running around, they hit this. Oh my gosh, they've split trash cans. They've got their little riot shields. Run, 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 run. We're going to take them all out. This is what you're up against. And they clash with the police. Boom. And what do the police do? Oh, garbage can's going to stop it. Garbage can is going to stop it. Nope. We are going to arrest you and haul you off to jail. Simple as that. Oh my gosh. The attack with the plastic garbage cans. It is amazing to me that they do this and then expect that they can get away with it. Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh, what is it? Like in Pigeon's Thoughts. Iron Rabbit and failed painter and disabled war veteran. How did you know? Oh my gosh. That is Mrs. Mac. Fake news sucks. They're deleting history. Oh my gosh, Mrs. Mac. This is for you right here because you definitely are the most awesome this morning for doing the super chat. I will give you how's this?
You stick in your two fingers like this and then place your thumb on top like so, that will increase the pleasure.
Oh yeah, you're going to like this one. Decided to spend an hour and a half printing this Shrek figure, right? Well, apparently turned out pretty good, except downloaded the wrong one.
Oh my.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Mac. Yes, fake news sucks and they are deleting history. This is pretty common for them to do that kind of stuff. Yeah. Deleting history is what their biggest thing is. Oh my. Thank you again, Mrs. Mac. That is so kind of you. So back to this news story. Because this is where we go with it. So of course they come back to this gun going off. Okay. Confrontations at UCLA played out over several days this week. Why aren't they talking about Sunday fights broke out and live mice were tossed into the pro-Palestinian encampment later that day. Weird, but they don't talk about the people that were getting clubbed on either side. In the following days, administrators tried to find a peaceful solution with members of the encampment and expected things to remain stable. Well, here's what they could have done. They could have taken that little backhoe right there and they could have just worked their way right through the crowd, got to their encampments and shoveled them up. Now, if you didn't want to get hurt, well, let's see how long that chain lasts. Tent is removed at the site of this pro-Palestinian encampment, which was cleared by police overnight on UCLA campus. No, it wasn't overnight. It was during the entire day that they were doing these kinds of things. Summer of Love and the Summer of VD coincided. Yes, it did. Oh, yes. Thank you very much for being. Someone told their dumb asses that Rubbermaid trash cans make good riot shields. Might as well say tap out shirts are bulletproof. Yes, pretty much. LARPers are terribly bad ones at that. Hey, Shizzy, is that stubble you're detecting? Yeah, it's growing back. I had it. My wife absolutely hates me right now. So yesterday, she's, as you can see, so right there. See, do you see a scar? My wife was there whenever that split open because she's the one who got the paper towels and had me pull it away so she could see all the fat and the gristle. And it's really gross. It was really disgusting up underneath there. It was split wide open and I had a little puncture that made it all the way through the lip into my mouth. This is what it looks like. Not even 7 days later, 6 days later, she calls me damn Wolverine. It might be the hair in the ears. I don't know, but she does not like it. So yeah, it's growing all back. It'll be fine. That's what I said. I'm not worried about it. It just sucks for the time being. Sounds like a theme song for the end of the show. Maybe. It's Friday. Good morning, Risa. How are you doing? Ammo's girl. Good morning, Shizzy in chat. Good to see you. Glad you can make it in. Thank you. It's only going to get better. That's what happens. I heal really fast. But it'll leave a little scar. Buy Shizzy a new mustache font. No. It'll grow back out. I shaved the neck last night. So that way I don't end up with a neck beard. Yeah, they don't like the scratchy stubble. Well, just saying. Their medieval feminist queer dance therapy degrees really helped them out, didn't they? Well, they did. It taught them how to cut Rubbermaid trash cans in half. What vitamins do I take? I don't take any vitamins. They're from my understanding. Now I'm not a doctor, but I've heard doctors say that they're very expensive expenditure of money because your body can't process that amount of stuff. So basically it just goes into your stomach, gets processed, maybe 100%. It might be about 90% of that ends up becoming waste that's passed through the body because the body just can't absorb that material fast enough. Whenever I was taking vitamins, I didn't notice any difference as compared to whenever I stopped taking them. Now I probably should stop taking coffee, but that's not going to happen. I'm just not like that. But no vitamins. I hope the stash covers the scar. That's the thing. There's not really going to be a scar there. My concern is the hair growing out of it. If it's going to cause a problem, if it's going to, get ingrown, things like that. So I have to keep an eye on it, especially if it starts to get sore, but that's how it goes. Yes. As I said, I heal up really fast. Always have. Like my wife got a scratch the same day, I think, on her leg, and hers is redder than this. she looked at it yesterday and was like, what kind of superpowers do you have and where can I get them from? Which unlike me, these people have no superpowers here. That changed late Tuesday, he said, when counter demonstrators attacked the Palestinian encampment. That's not true. They basically tried to get them to leave, forcing them to leave so they could go to class. And then, of course, no one was arrested that night, but at least 15 protesters were injured. So there was 15 people out of hundreds. And were you sure that they were actually protesters that were attacking them? It could have been staged. You find that being active does more for healing than anything. Well, I hope so. I hope it seems to do for me. Thank you. Bless you. By Wednesday, the encampment had become much more of a bunker, and there was no other solution but to then have police dismantle it because, the kids going in there in the first place trying to dismantle it, well, that didn't work out really well. The hours-long standoff went into Thursday morning as officers warned over loudspeaker that there would be arrests if the crowd, at that time, more than 1,000. Now, you notice they don't say more than 1,000 students, but there's more than 1,000. And a lot of those 1,000, how did they get there? What did they bring? Oh, they brought tents. They thought they were going to occupy the campus. Yeah, this isn't a street in Seattle. They're not going to play with you like that, especially whenever you're spray painting the building. They saw what happened during the mostly peaceful, violent protests. They weren't going to deal with that crap again. So the hours-long standoff went into Thursday morning as officers warned over loudspeakers that would be arrests if the crowd, at that time more than 1,000 strong inside the encampment as well as outside of it, did not disperse. Hundreds left voluntarily, as they should. While if you had more than 1,000, and if there were hundreds left voluntarily, and you're saying 200 plus remained and were ultimately taken into custody, yeah, you found who your organizers were not. Those were the followers. The ones that remained in, they were followers. The ones that left early, they were the organizers, and they knew that there was a beatdown about to happen if they didn't leave. And I doubt any of those were students. It takes me back to a time during the whole peaceful but fiery protests, whenever they were going into black neighborhoods. These little people wearing their safety helmets and carrying, Rubbermaid trash can shields and walking through, smashing things and burning down buildings. And it was during the whole Black Lives Matter riots that were happening at night, that caused that stuff to happen during Kyle Rittenhouse. It was during that period of time that they were going through mostly the poor black neighborhoods and burning things down. And then looking at them and going, we're helping you. We are helping you in every way that we possibly can. Yeah, that was, you had the rich white kids flowing through the poor black neighborhoods, burning down their businesses, smashing things up and saying, oh, we're helping you. Yeah, that's what was going on. But we forget about that because we don't talk about that. Meanwhile, protest encampments at other schools across the U.S. have been cleared by police, resulting in more arrests or closed voluntarily. But University of Minnesota officials reached an agreement with protesters not to disrupt commencements, and similar compromises have been made at Northwestern University in suburban Chicago, Rutgers University in New Jersey, and Brown University in Rhode Island. Watson reported from San Diego, Keller from Albuquerque, and Thompson from Buffalo. AP journalists around the country contributed to this report, in concluding Kavish Hajiraji, Christopher, and more people I don't give two shits about. How did they contribute to this story? They sat in their home, no different than I do, giving a report. Mighty Racer Raider. Awesome. Mighty Racer Raider. I love it. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you. Good morning, Cindy. It is wonderful to see you. And Debbie Morin. Oh, man. All you guys rolling in here. Thank you so much for coming in. They showed protesters on Tennessee's campus yesterday, all 20 of them. Yeah. Yeah, don't worry, there'll be more. There'll be more. They're making their rounds. They are making their round. Hold on just a second. You know what this calls for? You know, if we're talking about making rounds, we need to be getting ourselves fueled up. We need to be getting fueled up with a little bit more coffee. So at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to get you guys set up with a little bit of a video here. You know it's coming because it happens every morning that I can possibly get away with it. It is about that time for a little bit of coffee. And with the coffee needing to be happening, we will pull up the video so we can go and get the coffee. And we will be. Do you want the hot chicks? I think I'll do the original one, and you'll see a big difference between the two, and I think we figured out that everyone liked the second one. So here's the first one we did, and whenever we do our second break, we'll come back and do the one that I enjoy much more. I think it turned out a little bit better. So here we go with this. Oh yeah, this is the first one. Yeah, see, it's still got the otter in there. But I agree. The second one I did ends up working so much better because I had to get like the proper one in there. So that was definitely not the one that I ended up going with. And it I think the one that I did end up going with, I like it much better. And that's the one with the Rambo is much more enjoyable. I'm pretty positive that having this one is much better. Don't you agree? Much better. Got a little bit of the coffee in there because that's what you're going to go for. You're going to get the coffee. Yeah. See, everybody loves Rambo. Yep. Youth is wasted on the well, and this was the second one I did, but it still has Rambo in it. Yeah, as you'll see Rambo. Wanted to put Lynette when she was 40 years younger. Yeah, we want the monkey. Yeah, the monkey. Rambo and the hummingbird. Love Rambo and the hummingbird. Release the ape. Release the ape. Yes, absolutely. That is what we'd like to do. Release the ape. All right, we'll go back to this right here because it says today campus protests aren't nearly big or as violent in those of the last century, at least not yet. They're priming you up for more shenanigans. This is what they're doing. They are priming you up in a way. The black and white Palestinian scarf draped over Hannah Sadler's shoulders this week and the tie-dyed t-shirts of 1968 are woven from the same common thread. Like so many college students, we just need to read this in their voice. That's what we should do. Read it in their voice.
In a way, the black and white Palestinian scarf draped over Hannah Sadler's shoulders this week and the tie-dyed t-shirts of 1968 are woven from the same thread. Isn't that disturbing? Doesn't that just sound disturbing? Like so many college students across the country protesting Israel Muslims, Sadler feels a historic fate of the anti-Vietnam War demonstrations of the 1960s and 70s. They always talked about the 68 protests as sort of a first star. Sadler, 27, and graduate student of an international human rights policy at Columbia University, said of the campus organizers here. Even the choice to take over Hamilton Hall was always the plan from the start of the encampment. Not only because it just made a lot of sense logistically, but it's the strong historical connection with the 60s protests. Still, although it might be tempting to compare the nationwide campus protests to the anti-Vietnam War movement half century ago, Robert Cohen says that would be an overreaction. I would say that this is the biggest in the United States in the 21st century, said Cohen, a professor of history and social studies at New York University, but you could say, well, that's like being the tallest building in Wichita, Kansas, because I can't say Wichita. So far, there have been no bombings like the ones in August of 1970 at the University of Wisconsin that deleted a postdoctoral researcher who did $6 million worth of damage in 1970. $6 million was as much as it is now, because it would be probably close to 20 or 30 million worth of damage as compared to what they did before. Yeah, there's the kind of destruction that they read to there. Just in case you guys are wondering, there's been no review. The infamous state deleting in 1970 when those of our troops opened fire on protesters in the Ohio campus, and it deleted 4 of them. Police inflated encampments have made more than 2,000 arrests, and some likely backed down on Thursday at UCLA have involved violent clashes. A police officer involved in clearing Columbia's Hamilton Hall of protesters Tuesday discharged his gun inside the building, but nobody, fortunately, was not injured. Into some, there's a feeling that the situation is just one hair moment away from tragedy, says Mark Madison, who took part in the violent protests at Columbia in 1968. People are terrified. And this and professor of history of African studies at Fordham University in many ways. This does feel like the America of what Cohen calls the long 60s. The roughness of it.
Sorry, I can't just continue on in that voice. It's too rough. Okay, trivia. What was Clyde's real name in Every Which Way But Loose? I can't remember. That is some good trivia there. I don't remember what his name was. How about that voice you used last night? Oh, you like that voice I used last night? Captain Kern, I know Clyde was a female, but don't remember him. Have you listened to some of the comments that President Reagan said to reporters? They were gold. Yes, I have. Yep, I want to take my advice about world issues from a bunch of college students who have no clue. But real world problems must be nice, not to have to deal with real adult problems. Yeah. Correct. Yep. It is insane. The amount of stupidity that happens in this country. It is one of those bad portions, a bad time in our country's world where we had bad actors doing stuff. Good morning, Squid Pro Quo. How are you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you, girl. I hope that you're doing well. Man, it has been an interesting day to say the least, of the kind of silliness that we have to run into. It is just how it goes, just how it is with these silly people thinking that this is one thing that ties to the other. Yeah, so here's what it looked like at Kent State. Not nearly the amount of protesters. They did use tear gas to remove quite a few of them. There's maybe 200 students, and there are 30,000 undergraduate students at NYU. Okay. We don't care about what they're saying. Look, this right here is a weapon. Straight and simple. This is a weapon. And once you realize that whenever you see signs like this, Queers for Palestine, it literally is one of the stupidest things that you have from these people. They are complete idiots. They have no sense of morality. They really don't care. They're just causing a ruckus. Just an absolute ruckus. Just an absolute ruckus. I'll stop drawing pictures on there because they're idiots. And they don't deserve what they've been offered. But every single one of these, you've got weapon, and this person right here thinks that hard hat's going to do something to protect them. It's not. Good morning, Squid Pro Quo. You need coffee? Well, you get some coffee. Get some caffeine. Get warmed up. While Storm is right, caffeine is life. Yeah, the faceless people. Well, we'll go to that. Because, reading this portion of it, it's the same BS. Just like this. Answering readers' questions about the protest movement on U.S. college campuses. Oh, what kind of questions do they have? Let's see. How many protesters are not students, and who are they? Are there outside agitators? City and campus leaders in some places have alleged protests are being led by outside agitators with no connection to universities. Student protesters have rejected those claims. Oh, really? Really? Let's see if that really holds up. Some claims about agitators. They didn't say the claims. They said, some of the claims about agitators have failed to hold up. Those who arrested often include a mix of students and non-students. That is true. Of course, who gives two craps about Eric Adams? Because, well, that's up to him. Have co-opted the university demonstration for police officers came arrested more than 100 people on Tuesday night. Adams referenced a woman whose husband was convicted for terrorism. The woman he cited wasn't on the campus, isn't among those who were arrested, and has not been accused of any crime. Yeah. New York made it also know that many of the tents encampments were the same brand, more evidence of agitators. Students who organized it said the tents were simply ordered in bulk. Oh, so the students did this on student-funded money? Others have made similar claims elsewhere after breaking up a demonstration at University of Boston campus said it had been infiltrated by professional organizers. But the students, of course, they denied this. No. Are you sure they were students that were denying it? What is the real end game here? One article states they want universities to separate themselves from companies furthering Israel's military efforts. Oh. But you notice they don't say pro-Palestinian students. That's not what they're saying. It is pro-Palestinian activists. They're those same ones that would never be infiltrating this. If they cut financial ties with companies and they say that support it, specific demands vary by campus. Okay. On many campuses say they don't know the extent of the campus's ties with them. Yale is one of those many campuses where they demand transparency around investment. The school doesn't make all its investments public, and money can be hard to track after it goes outside investment managers hired by colleges. Activists in some places have identified specific ties they want to end. Students at the University of Michigan said the school sends billions of dollars to investment managers that profit from the war. Okay. I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you right now. Oh, thank you, Mo, and all my chat friends for celebration last night. All of you took me by surprise. Well, no, we enjoy you so much. We want you to be happy. It is wonderful seeing your passion is flowing on our own talk, listening to you. Oh, excellent. And that's what we should have. We should have a little bit of passion behind it. That is something to celebrate and be proud of. I know it is one of the most beautiful things and just in case you guys don't understand what we're talking about, because you might be new here, Cynthia got fired by her doctor. He said, no more showing up here, stay out of my office. You don't have cancer anymore. It's gone. You've got a 2% chance of it returning, and I don't want to see you in here except for your regular yearly checkups. And that right there is the most beautiful news that anyone could possibly get, is being fired by their doctor for that. So again, kudos. Yep. Party. That is worth partying over. Most definitely. F cancer. Absolutely. Cheers. It is. Yeah. See, a lot of these people, this is all new to them, Cynthia, and they want to celebrate with you. So that's right there is much better news than, hearing about these 2,200 students that have been arrested, or agitators have been arrested. Because you notice they're talking about 2,200 people have been arrested since all of this stuff happened, but they're not saying 2,200 students. If that gives you any idea how it really holds up. What percentage of college campuses across America have witnessed violent protests? Well, it's hard to know the exact percentage, but it's relatively small. But more than 2,000 people have been arrested across more than 30 colleges. By comparison, the U.S. has 6,000 colleges and universities, including all types of institutions. Those schools are, but only where you can get the news and large groups of people together. How does it compare to the 60s? Not even close. Not even close. That's sort of the bad part about this. It doesn't even, because those same protesters were the same ones that came in the 1960s and attacked our servicemen coming home from, a horrible war. So in the 70s, they went at them in a different way. They called them baby killers, called them all kinds of things. Yeah. That's sort of how they reacted to all this stuff. Yeah. Oh, and this also is, a time to have that discussion, the political one that people tend to forget about. And that would be this right here.
A new poll from the American Press Institute and the AP Nork Center finds that when it comes to coverage of the 2024 presidential election, about half of Americans are extremely or very concerned that news outlets will report inaccurate information.
Really? Why would we ever think that? Why would we ever think that they would report inaccurate information? Right on, right on. Good morning, everyone. funny story. If the story that I was listening to hadn't changed over to Megan Fox, I wouldn't have been woken up by the money song. So here I am. Good to see you, Deborah. Good to see you. Be right back. Got to make more strawberry lemonade. Oh, that sounds delicious. Strawberry lemonade. Student was shot and killed in the 60s riot on campus. Yeah. There were several that were shot and killed in the 60s. That's what these folks are wanting to have happen, though. But unlike the 60s, they come with better trained people. You do not want to have the National Guard showing up to any of these things, because whenever the National Guard has to show up, that's whenever it's going to become real. Because the National Guard isn't going to play like these police will. Police are going to tolerate a certain amount of stuff. The military is going to go in there because they're going to be given orders, and they're going to follow those orders to the T, where the police might be a little bit more lenient. The military doesn't play. This chick has no business on TV. Well, what does it say? I read about heads and about it and others since you were born in 65. Yeah, I mean, I was born in 69. Yeah, not because of 69, but out of 69, sort of like that. And my older brother, and I think it was like the week before the whole Vietnam War ended, he went in the military. So it was pretty crazy seeing what he had done, going into the military right as the war was ending, and that was sort of the way that it went. Well, and I have someone waiting in the back room, but I see that they have child, and I want to make sure that they're okay with child being on screen. Okay.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
Hey, Riding Hood, want to be eaten by the big bad wolf?
Fuck you, new bomb.
Good to see you, Squid Bro. How you doing, girl?
I am good. I am tired, but I am good.
You tired? Are you going to go do another 5K hike?
No, but I do have to go to the gym today and work out. And Mr. Squid will pick up her so I can work.
Oh.
So I have to run to the bank, put in some money in the account so that I can pay some rent, so I have a place to live.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Small town. We don't have direct deposit to our bank, though. We have to physically write a check from one account to another.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, it's that kind of day.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, my wife and I, after dealing with that kind of stuff, we ended up getting just a Capital One account. It was easier. And then we could transfer things from checking to savings and all that kind of crap.
Yeah, our landlord has a account at the local bank because I live in, BFE, Georgia. Yeah. So I write her a check and deposit it into her account to pay my rent.
That's always a pain. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, everyone.
Captain
Hey,
Kern.
Captain Kern.
Destroyer of chats.
Destroyer of chats.
She likes to mod.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, except when she blocks my friends or times them out.
Yeah. She's a horrible, rotten little sweetheart.
She's got an attitude like her mama. Except she doesn't know how to control it yet.
Well, whatever she does, she'll become dangerous. That's what you have to be scared of.
Yeah. Do you want to go finish eating your breakfast?
Yeah. Ballstorm and I both have been to BFE, Georgia. We've all been there. It is. There are some beautiful things about that.
Yes, but it's 40 minutes to a Walmart.
Yeah. Yeah, or just even your nearest gas station just to pick up a gallon of milk that was probably like 3 days old, or 3 days past due, and you walk in there and you're just like, well, I mean, does it smell good?
We have one grocery store, but it's family run and they charge what they want.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, well, it does cost them to go get that stuff.
True. I mean, we have an auto parts store and a couple of family run restaurants, but
yeah,
you know, we also have a bunch of railroad tracks that you literally have to like maneuver your way out of town in the morning because they like to park over the road and just sit there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, because you are in the middle of nowhere, they're not really worried about it. What, you got to get around? Nah, you'll be fine.
Who needs to get out of town?
Yeah. You've got one stoplight if you're lucky, maybe a stop sign, and it's okay. It's all right. That stoplights, railroad tracks.
When we first moved here, I had to go back to the town that we used to live in, and I didn't know the way to navigate around or over the railroad tracks. I called Mr. Squid freaking out. How do I get out of this effing town? I don't know. The one way I know to get back to the good town is over the railroad tracks, and both sets of tracks are stopped. Like,
yeah. Like, what do I do? What do I do? I can't move. Children in the corn are coming for me.
That's literally the attitude I have.
Oh my gosh. I would rather be in BFE than a city. I can't stand it. Well,
that is true.
It is true. I like living near Walmart's. Save the bank account. Well, I'm not too far from a Walmart. The only problem is it is like ghetto Walmart. I don't understand.
Aren't all Walmart ghetto Walmart?
Well, I see. I've been trying to understand this with all the employees that they have. They have the place gets completely crowded. They have 60 lanes that they could be checking people out of. They have 2 open, and one of them is supposed to be express items only. So you get this backed up line and people just standing there and they're getting agitated, and you're going, why do I want it? Why do I come here? Like if my wife is like, oh, we're going to go pick up this whatever from Walmart, you know what I do? That right there. I get in my car and I say, I'll see you whenever you come back out. I just refuse to go in.
We have one Walmart that's closer and cleaner, but it's north of here, and everything I do is south of here. So I go to the one that's farther away. Right now,
you're closer to it.
It's being updated and renovated, so it's even more of a crapshoot than normal trying to find stuff.
Oof. Yeah, J Buck is saying, baby squid.
Say hi.
Yeah, country girl at heart. So the city's crud is too much even after 15 years. Yeah, and I have a good friend of mine that I used to game with, and he runs a very lucrative business. He's in Winder, Georgia, which is further north from where I'm at. It's closer towards like Athens area. He's like between me and Athens, and he's always like, hey, if you want to come up this way, we can hop on our motorcycles and go for a ride. Hi, Squid Bros. Hey, little squid, baby squid. Want to see both hands go? Hey.
She's got to take the other hand out of her mouth.
Did she hear me?
Yep.
Do you like it when I talk like a baby? That make you like that? Yeah. That freak you out?
I'm like, what is going on right now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you in a good mood this morning? Yeah,
we're in a good mood this morning. Oh my gosh! I've also got this one here.
Is this it? How you doing this morning? It's an interesting thing to be here. And then we get this guy right here.
Back in the day, long time ago. Hey, how are you?
I have to keep my mic kind of far away because she likes to touch it, but you see.
He's such a cutie. No, that was funny. It's a cute baby. King Wacko.
Are you cute?
Yeah. Sinking out a little numb a little right now.
Hey, Zach.
Hey, Zach. Good to see you. Hey, y'all been lurking. Good to see you.
And yes, I'm going to the cult today, Zach.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. So this young lady right here, she makes a very interesting point that I found pretty cool. Just listen, you'll understand what I mean.
53% of U.S. adults are concerned that news outlets will report inaccurate information or disinformation in their coverage of the 2024 presidential election. And 42% worry that news outlets will use generative artificial intelligence to create stories. On many of these topics, Republicans are more likely than U.S. adults overall, Democrats and independents, to be concerned. And as the election approaches, most Americans say that in order for them to make informed decisions about the national and state elections, they want news outlets to report on the candidates' key values and stances on social issues.
Yeah.
Big shocker there.
Yeah, and that's the hardest part that these news organizations are not understanding, is that whenever they give bad information, or they try to soften the blow of the information, that people don't pay too much attention. They tend to tune it out because that's not what they're looking for. People know when they're being lied to, and they'll just say, I don't trust you. I don't trust what you have to say, especially if these people are coming out and it's found out that they're being funded by the same people that they're supposed to be talking bad about or researching or speaking out of. Whenever you're funded by let's say if you're funded by a terrorist organization, it's pretty hard to believe what that terrorist organization is saying is true, especially whenever it comes to certain aspects of say you're wanting to speak about banking. Do you trust the bankers to tell you the truth, or are they going to try to shine themselves in the best way possible?
It's like they think we're all stupid. They are the only source of information, and that's why they hate YouTube, because anybody with a camera and a microphone can get on and say what they think, and they hate it.
Yeah. And do you really need more information about the two candidates? Well, some of these people think that they're getting information whenever they're really not. I mean, it's pretty straightforward whenever you see things like this. President Joe Biden has called Japan and India xenophobic countries that do not welcome immigrants. You had no idea. The remark at a campaign fundraising event Wednesday just came 3 weeks after the White House hosted Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida for a lavish official visit, during which the two leaders celebrated what Biden called an unbreakable alliance. And then he turns around and he calls them xenophobic for not allowing being welcoming to immigrants.
Well, this might be an unpopular opinion, but back in the 50s and during the Korean War, you know how many GIs went over there and made little GIs with Korean women, and those babies were not taken care of by either the US or Korea, because Korea didn't want mixed race children.
Mm-hmm.
So that was back in the 50s. I'm not saying they are now, but there's a history there.
Yeah.
But no one talks about that.
Well,
everybody talks about the US's bad history, but no one talks about the rest of the world's bad history.
Yes.
We're the only bad guys in the world.
Yeah, that's that is what teens are cool, but babies are so precious. Absolutely. It is one of those where it's more than just that, though. they're very protective of the culture. They do not want outsiders coming in and destroying that culture. And that's exactly what is happening in these countries is they are losing culture and they are fighting that culture war. Whether you like it or hate it, these are countries that have had a long history of people coming in, taking over the culture of the country and being and trying to change history. They don't embrace the history of those particular countries. This is what happened to China way back, is they all of a sudden had these big struggle sessions going on, and they deleted a lot of people that were some of the most intelligent people that they had in the country because they didn't buy into the communist propaganda. And that's what's happening in our country. It's just moving a little bit slower because there's too many people that are standing up to them. But they're whittling away by making it acceptable for you to say, well, it's so horrible the way that they're treating Palestine. It's so horrible. And it's these news organizations that are throwing these things out there and making people say, hey, it's okay what's going on in Ukraine. It's okay that we're sending these kinds of funds to another country. It's good big business. And pretty soon, before you know it, because it doesn't happen overnight. These kinds of things don't happen overnight. These kinds of issues build up over a period of time, from being straightforward and saying, hey, we're just outright Marxist communists, to, well, it's the fascists that are trying to ruin our country. As if they know what a fascist is.
As if they don't look in the mirror every morning and not realize that they themselves are the fascists.
Right.
It's like the people who are supposedly preaching tolerance and acceptance don't tolerate any opinion that's not theirs.
Exactly. And America is getting sick of it. America, definitely. F yeah. Love all the sports stream has for one another, and that's what keeps you coming back to Shizzy Chat. Oh, thank you. No, it is. I enjoy my chat. I enjoy all these fine people that come in, they hang out, they make me think quite a bit.
My troublemaker is over here, supposed to be eating her breakfast, but she's grabbing everything else on the kitchen or the dining room table and throwing it around, including my planner.
Well, yeah. Those are children for you.
Yep. But she's within arm's reach, so that usually I can do things on the computer while she's eating or coloring. She's close to me and eye level with me, but not quite within, the ability to touch everything on the computer.
Oh, Debbie, Shizzy and Mo are so like that's why. Yeah, we're weird. I swear our keyboard has its own monitor on Discord, man. A lot of us has issues with it too. Yeah. Holt International is an adoption agency started by American business who visited Korea and found half American babies in a garbage dump. One of my wife's friends was part of Operation Baby Lift, coming out of Vietnam. One of the last planes to leave during all of that. Yeah, that was insane. That she was able to get out there. She's actually met her biological mother. She went back to Vietnam and she knew who she was, and she's met her. But she's nothing like seeing a lovely Vietnamese girl with a southern accent. You look at her, you're expecting, you're not expecting her to be going, I love me some shrimp and grits.
Girl, you are loud.
Yes. So 2 months to count election ballots. California's long tallies turn election day into weeks and months. They're priming you for this now. That's what they're doing. They're priming you to have these elections that are going to take forever. So nearly 2 months after the election and recount settled the outcome in a northern U.S. House primary contest, breaking a mathematically improbable tie for second place, but also spotlighted the lengthy stretch it took to count the votes. They are priming you for this year. For November, they've got you primed up. That's all that they're doing.
It's so insane. Like,
Yes.
it should not take more than a day to count ballots, considering they do it electronically. You're not hand counting.
Oh, well, because that takes longer. Because you actually have to verify those signatures. Yeah, that's where it becomes touch and go, because they don't want to have ID verification. So they have to look at them by hand. It's stupid and crazy. Most California residents vote by mail. That's another problem, because they have to verify those. And thoroughness and counting every vote, a nation's most populous state has gained a reputation for tallies that can drag on for weeks and sometimes months. Voting in the state's primary election concluded on March 5th. At a time when many Americans have doubts about election integrity, a 2-month stretch to tally votes in one House race absolutely is a problem for the optics point of view. Yeah, no one has publicly challenged the accuracy of the tabulation, but when you have ballots that are just sitting around for any period of time, it does raise an eyebrow. Not to suggest anything untoward is going on. No, never that. But for the average voter, they become skeptical about the time and length of the process, because it does, as Squid said, it doesn't take long to do this. They can do this electronically, but for whatever reason, they're taking their sweet time with it. Secretary of State Shirley Weber, who oversees the election, said in a statement, "I understand that people want finality, but accuracy is of the utmost importance." Okay. Are you saying that you've never been able to count these accurately prior to this? So you've gotten better technology, but your accuracy is way down? That's what it looks like to me. The accuracy has gone way down. Oregon votes by mail. My state, and you have to drag your happy ass to the polls, show ID, and prove you live in the county, or you live where you live. Yes, that last sentence especially. 11 candidates were on the ballot in heavily Democrat district. See, I hate when they use that word, democratic. It is not democratic. They are Democrats. It is the Democrat Party. It is not the Democratic Party. It is Democrat Party. South of San Francisco, a seat being vacated by retiring Democrat Representative Anna Eshoo. Never heard of these people, and I don't even care who they are, because they're in California. Means nothing to me. It took a month for John Duarte to be declared the winner in the 13th congressional district in 2018, they raised a question about the lengthy ballot counting process after Democrats captured a string of House seats in the Senate. California has provision in which voters must be contacted if a mail ballot isn't signed or the signature does not match official records, again creating delays. And last-minute voting means election officials can be swamped by heaps of ballots, even though mail-in voting begins a month before the election ends. But they don't stop counting those votes until the end of the month, or until the actual election day. And that's the problem that they're going to run into again. Stop doing the mail-in ballots. You stop having this problem. You don't have as many voters that come in, but you don't have this problem. That's the thing that they're failing to recognize. Hey, welcome, JW. Became a new member. Awesome. Thank you so much. That is so cool.
Well, you remember when Georgia changed their voting laws, and we were told that it was going to be the worst thing that ever happened. And it ended up increasing the amount of people who showed up for the election. Increase the amount of early voting days. But you actually have to march your happy ass into your courthouse to vote.
Well, and they actually they got really, really angry about that. In certain political parties got very angry about it and saying that, well, it is impossible because they're not smart enough, and we have to help them. They're complete idiots. Those that happen to be living in the ghetto, they're not able to obtain driver's licenses because they don't know where the DMV is.
Or the people who live in rural can't get IDs. I'm like, it's actually easier here because there's only one spot and there's no line.
Yeah.
It's a simple Google search.
Yeah.
And everybody's got those Obama phones that they can.
Well, nobody can Google search. They don't know how to do that. The internet is this big, scary place, but not enough people have it. Especially in rural America, they're not given access to internet. Like, really?
I'm pretty sure if I walk to all the people in my neighborhood and knock on their door and ask them if they have internet, they would say, yeah. Not
what kind of
good internet, but
yeah. Well, of course, not good internet, not great internet, but it's racial group X is too dumb and too poor to get valid ID cards. But I'm not the racist. Exactly. Democrats say that every single time. And whenever you hear that,
for it, people actually believe that bull crap.
But you know who falls for it? It's not that group that they're trying to help out. They don't believe that. It's the wine moms. It's the rich wine moms. They're sitting around and feeling guilty because they're rich.
It's the upper middle class white woman.
Yeah. You were at the other end of McCord Air Force Base to receive babies and small children. Oh man, that is so wild. It is so wild. Wow. Here in Indiana, you must show photo ID. One year I was asked to show my ID, and I looked at my friend and jokingly said, "I'm all disenfranchised." That's awesome. How do you... I now do absentee voting because of my medical conditions, so they suggest that I do that. Absolutely. And there is a reason to be able to do that.
But there's also a difference between absentee voting and the mail-in voting that they started in 2020.
Right. Yes. And just so you can understand this, the mail-in voting that they started in 2020, everyone's saying, "Oh, it's because of the coup." No, to get those things set up prior to that, there is a lot of legislation that has to be passed that was passed. And I blame Democrats in Michigan for that crap. They're the ones that passed that law. It was not the Democrats that did it. It was Republicans in Michigan that created these legislative things, thinking it was going to make it more efficient. And they created the mail-in ballots. The laws were passed before the coup even came along. So whenever I hear people saying, "Oh, it's Democrats doing that," no, it was Republicans doing this kind of crap. And it came back and bit them in the ass. They might still be rhinos, but hey, they're the ones that passed this legislation thinking it was a great idea to have these mail-in ballots because they could get more voters. Yeah, we require an ID. It's not a big deal. Yeah. And if you don't have a government issued ID, it's not hard to get one at all.
And it's free.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "Well, it's so expensive." No, it's not. Maybe getting a driver's license is expensive, but just a photo ID is free.
Yeah, you can go get an ID at just about any DMV. Some places have different places where you can get an ID. Just to prove who you are. That's all you have to do is show up and prove who you are, and you're at the address you live in. What's wrong with that? I would like to see more of that happen, especially with. See, here's something that I noticed. I don't know if I talked about this before. That as these we've had these issues on our southern border. We've been bringing in quite a few illegals. Okay, quite a few, shipping them to different parts of the country. Where they're ending up, they don't really know. These are not the people that you have to worry about voting. Not yet. They're not going to be voting in this election. But you also have a census that's about ready to happen. Okay. And to get congressional seats, you have to have to basically get funding from your government, get congressional seats, to do a lot of changes in a lot of the House and the Senate. You have to have a certain amount of constituents, and the way that they do those constituents is not by how many legal residents you have. It's not by how many illegal residents you have. It's an overall. So whenever they come around for the census, they will basically ask you how many people are living in the house. They don't ask political parties. They don't ask if you're here legally or illegally. They want to know how many men, women, and children, above the age of 18 live in this structure. That's what the census wants to do. That right there is going to become a problem here in the next 4 years, because that's how seats are determined. And that has to do with how many votes that you're able to cast, has to do with your next election. So they're not concerned with this election. It's the one following it.
I usually think that I have some good forethought, but I never even thought of that. The census.
Yeah.
And the last time one was done compared to now.
Yeah. Just think election year censuses, and that's for the next 4 years, how those seats are going to be distributed. It has they're not concerned with these people voting. That's because, like I said, most places, as even Iron Rabbit will say here, have to have an ID where you're at to vote. State of Illinois, $20, but think good 6 years. It's just 4 years, like the driver's license. If I fill out the disabled form, you get free state ID. Yeah, state ID is plenty enough proof. They're not saying it has to be a driver's license. It does have to be a state ID showing that you live there. The reason why they have these things in place goes back to and especially in Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Kentucky, because those states are so close. It became a joke in the 70s and 80s. Welfare, food stamps. It became a running joke because you could have residents in all 4 of those states, because they didn't have any way of cross-referencing and checking it. They would have IDs in all 4 states. They would have residents in all 4 states, and they would just travel from state to state picking up their benefits and spending it on whatever they wanted to. It became a running joke. Like government cheese was like, you were probably living higher on life living off of government cheese than anything else, because you could just bounce between all those states.
One thing that I also noticed when I moved here from Wisconsin was I actually emailed the state of Wisconsin to unregister to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Versus what generally happens is people move state to state. They're still registered in the other state that may or may not require ID. And all of a sudden you voted in 2 states.
Mm-hmm.
And
that is not uncommon.
I unregistered to vote, and I also emailed them and said, I moved this date. Please ensure that I did not vote twice. And they actually checked and supposedly told me I didn't vote. But I made sure to ask, because now I have that email chain of I unregistered to vote in Wisconsin. So if someone votes for me, it's fraud, and I can prove it.
Yep. And you have proof that they're doing. I'm going to stand. Standing desk is a wonderful thing. Oh,
I get everything in writing because I like receipts.
I know at some point my wife and I will be moving out of Atlanta. I mean, it sucks being here. I want to do it much sooner, but also know that her practice is more important, because she make the money. But soon we are hoping by the time that she's hitting around 55 that we'll be able to retire. So that's a ways off. And in the meantime, we're setting aside and building up the funds to get everything situated where whenever we leave, we don't have to look back or worry about it.
We're kind of doing the same thing.
Yeah. I mean,
Mr. Squid makes all the money. I just spend it.
Well, I don't spend a whole lot of it. That's the beauty of it.
I'm 90% service connected, so I'm a stay-at-home mom-ish, but I make not decent money, but enough money. And then I have a job where now I work 3 days a week. So it's not the greatest money, but it's this people ask me why I go to the gym I do because it's expensive. It was like the gym owner and I have this wonderful thing called capitalism. He gives me jobs to do and I get money from it and I pay for things. But
yeah, this is funny. Your DLs are good for 7. Mine's good for something like that. Mine's good for a while. I haven't looked at it in forever. Like my passport, it expired year before last, and so I had to go and get a new one.
I've been to 9 countries. I don't actually have a passport.
Yep. Signs of voter fraud per BBC article in 2016. Number 1, too many votes. High turnout in specific areas. Large number of invalid votes. More votes than a ballot papers issued. 5 results don't match. Delay in announcing results. And I worked one. We were told we couldn't estimate numbers of residents without talking to anyone in a home. Yeah, this is right here. Results don't match. That's one of the bigger ones, but all of those are one of the things that I think it gets a little bit crazy. No, my I was working for Honda back in 2019. I 2020 rolled around, and over the winter, I did some work for my wife, which was, just doing paralegal work. And it was like, oh, this is a little bit different, sitting at a desk, and not having my hands completely destroyed, so I've got bad arthritis in my left hand, like painful, like arthritis in my left hand. And so working on cars was becoming a little bit more and more difficult. And so I was looking for a way to do something else. And my wife was saying she was thinking that the following year she was probably going to be hiring a paralegal. So we knew in the winter, whenever things were slowed down a little bit, we weren't as busy, that she could teach me how to, run title, things like that, just stuff that she would normally be paying a paralegal to do, filings, all that kind of stuff. And in February of 2020, I put in my notice. They didn't want to let me go. They actually offered me quite a bit more money, and I still turned them down because I make more money working for my wife. Plus, that's money that stays in our home. So that was sort of how I transitioned and becoming a paralegal for my wife and doing that. And I still have, $60,000 worth of tools sitting there in my garage. I mean, it's insane. And I probably should get them together and sell them, but I constantly am using them. So I just haven't even bothered to do that.
There's a storage unit somewhere in Savannah that has all Mr. Squid's aviation tools. All the ones that he would buy himself when he lived in Minnesota. Snap-on bill with like double digits or,
oh yeah,
5 digits.
Oh yeah.
And now all those tools are sitting in a storage room somewhere.
Yeah.
And
yep. It's, you got to get them where they need to be. I mean, there's a possibility whenever he's ready for them, whenever you've got your place established, that you go and get those and we'll go back to tinkering or sell them off.
There's a couple people that he's met through his current job that own planes that they need inspections done on, and he will go in to the county airport and do an inspection on their plane and sign it off, and they pay decent money to have someone private come and do it instead of hiring a company. It's cheaper for them, but it's more lucrative for him.
Yes. Because then it's not a big company making the money, and it's money that stays in his pocket, so he can charge less. That's the same way my wife did whenever she went to, whenever she started her own law firm. She left a not like the biggest, but a very large law firm. And whenever she left, she didn't have a huge book that she brought with her. If you don't know what that means, it means clients. A large book means that you would have a certain amount of clients. She left and she figured how much she would have to charge people to basically keep her cost of living the same without, making a whole bunch of extra money. And she was able to lower her rates down, and not that she was undercutting people, but she was not having to charge exorbitant amounts that like imagine a large law firm, they'll bill you out at say $350 an hour is what they bill you out at. Because they need to cover their overhead and costs, paralegal and all this kind of stuff. Her by herself, she could cut that in half, if not a third, to charge people, and then she could be more selective about who she was working for, and she could maintain the same cost of living.
And it's no different than a personal trainer, because I have my certification in corrective exercise, and the gym owner, eventually I would like to train for him, but he has certain needs right now, and certain like jobs like cleaning things up, working the front desk, doing admin work is the need right now. And who am I to say no to a job? No. But it's like working for myself as a trainer versus working for a Planet Fitness or a big box that when they charge the client $30 an hour, but they only pay the trainer $10 because they need to pay for facilities. They need to pay their not affiliate fee, but like their franchise fee. They need to pay the lights, versus me just going into someone's home or having someone come to my garage gym, me working with them directly. All I have to do is pay taxes. Like, right. I don't have to pay, the lights, the big box, the corporate. I just pay me.
Yep. And you're doing them a favor, and you're getting something out of it also.
So I can charge someone $20. They're cheaper than what they were at, a big box gym. I make more money, but yet they're still paying less. It's business and just basic economics that half of this country doesn't seem to understand.
No, they don't. And that is a lot of people call it grifting. I call it like being sufficient with your time and your energy. And I think that all of the lockdowns really brought that to a head, because every individual that was going, you know what, I can do this on the side, make money, and it's enjoyable. They're people started living a better part of their life. And also they got out of the big corporate world and going, you know what, all I want to do is make paintings, for example. I enjoy painting and drawing, and there just happens to be a need for somebody to draw, all these protest signs. Well, crap, I'll just do that for them. I could get paid good money from Soros just by drawing, pretty little pictures on signs.
JKD Buck, his comment, like, hey, everybody's got to make a living. And if that's the way to make a living with that side hustle, count me in.
Exactly. Do little side hustles. It's awesome. Good, I'll pay to be my son's meaner older sister. He needs to be humbled so he knows his place. I love it.
I'm an only child, so I can definitely do that.
Squid, when is your stream going up?
Cynthia, first thing I want to say is congratulations. Like, to be fired by a doctor for a good reason, amazing. Like, congratulations. Like, can't say that and stress that enough, because cancer is a bitch. But every Wednesday at 1:00, I have what I call Hump Day Hangout. And I just kind of talk about wherever the chat leads me. This Wednesday, somebody brought up in another chat talking about all this Laura Owen stuff, why cases like this don't have psych evals, like automatic psych eval. Because I think that would solve a whole lot of problems. So that's kind of going to be my talking point to start out with. And then I go wherever the chat leads me. And I go until she wakes up from her nap. And Sometimes it's an abrupt ending. Come here, baby.
Hey, sweetheart.
I took my phone away, so she's not happy with me.
Oh.
It's okay. Because she locks me out of my phone.
Hey, baby squid, what happened? What happened over there? What's going on? Hey, little one, how you doing?
Oh, poor little one is making all kinds of breakfast. We're happy that baby squid, she'll get it right here shortly. She'll go, oh, you know what? It's not really worth it. It's like this next guy that I want to show you. You're gonna love this. Man says his emotional support alligator, known for his big social media audience, has gone missing. Oh. So in Brunswick, Georgia, a Pennsylvania man who credits an alligator named Wally for helping relieve his depression for nearly a decade says he's searching for the reptile after it went missing during vacation to the coast of Georgia. Joey Hennies has thousands of social media users following his pages devoted to Wally, the cold-blooded companion he calls his emotional support alligator. He has posted photos and videos online of people petting the 5 foot 5.5 foot. Okay, thank you. 5.5 foot alligator like a dog or hugging it like a teddy bear. Wally's popularity soared to new heights last year when the gator was denied entry into a Phillies game. Okay. Now, Henny said he's distraught after Wally vanished while accompanying him on an April vacation in Brunswick, Georgia. While in this port city 70 miles south of Savannah, he said someone stole Wally from the fenced outdoor enclosure where Wally spent the night on April 21st. In social media posts, Henny said pranksters left Wally outside the home of someone who called authorities, resulting in his alligator being trapped and released into the wild. We need all the help we can get to bring my baby back, Henny said in a tearful video post on TikTok. Please, we need your help. Henny said he didn't have time to talk when the AP reached him by phone Wednesday morning. He did not immediately return any follow-up messages. The man from Jonestown, Pennsylvania, has previously said he obtained Wally in 2015 after the alligator was rescued in Florida at the age of 14 months. And he told the Inquirer in 2019 that Wally helped alleviate depression following the deaths of several close friends. He said a doctor treating his depression had endorsed Wally's status as his emotional support animal. Reptile. He has never tried to bite no one. Doesn't matter. No one has filed police reports about the missing alligator in Brunswick and surrounding Glenn County. According to spokespersons for the city and county police department, the Georgia Department of Natural Resources confirmed that someone in the Brunswick area reported a nuisance alligator on April 21st, the day Henny said Wally went missing, and that a licensed trapper was dispatched to capture it. The agency said in a statement that the gator was released in a remote location, but stressed that it doesn't know if the reptile was Wally. It probably was. It is illegal in Georgia for people to keep alligators without special license or permit, said the State Department of Natural Resources, says it doesn't grant permits for pet gators. There you go. Pennsylvania has no state law against owning alligators, though it is illegal for owners to release them into the wild, according to Fish and Boat Commission. Dave Mixon, a wildlife biologist and coastal supervisor for the Georgia Department of Natural Resources, has handled plenty of alligators reported in people's yards and swimming pools. He has also shown gators kept in captivity in presentations to schoolboys and Boy Scout troops. He said even alligators that seem docile can be dangerous, and he always makes sure to hold their mouths closed with a hand, or preferably puts a rubber band over their jaws. He even said he said they're unpredictable and they're often reactive to stimulus. There's lots of videos and pictures where people handle gators and they do it without getting hurt. But the more time you spend around them, the more likely you are to be injured. State wildlife officials in neighboring Florida, home to an estimated 1.3 million alligators, have recorded more than 450 cases of unprovoked alligators biting humans since 1948. That includes more than 90 gator bites since 2014. 6 of those have proven to be fatal. In areas where people can legally own alligators, it is possible for them to be considered emotional support animals, said Lori Cogan, She's a psychologist and Colorado State University professor. Who cares about what she has to say? She studies interactions between humans and animals. Sounds like bestiality to me. Unlike service animals that help people with disabilities such as blindness or post-traumatic stress, emotional support animals have no special training, Kogan said. They also don't have any official registry, though health official professionals often write letters of endorsement for owners with a diagnosed mental health condition. People get very attached to a variety of animals. Can you get attached to a reptile? Can it bring you comfort? I would say yes. Me, personally, no. There you go. That's the story, because people are stupid playing with a pet alligator. Yeah.
There's an alligator family living in the pond down the road. Like, you're never getting that alligator back. Like, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Not as bad as Florida, but they're everywhere.
Yeah, they are, especially around Brunswick. You're going to get quite a few of those.
You're silly. All right. I have to get going because I have to get her day started and get out of the house and run errands. So it's going to be a busy day. Fridays always suck.
Well, Fridays always suck, but you have a wonderful one, and we will see you soon.
And baby squid, you take care of yourself.
Say bye. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye. See you soon.
Bye.
Good stuff. Everybody, give a chance to give a little bit of thumbs up to Squid Pro Quo. She's good people. She's another Georgia girl, and she's got it going on. She's got it going on. She's good people. Oh my, what do we got going here? I was looking to see if there was something. Bye Squid. Yes. Yeah, see, Squid Pro Quo is pretty damn awesome. Yes, gotta love squid. Who doesn't like squid? Yep, there you go. There's a link to Squid Pro Quo's YouTube channel. Go check her out. Give her a thumbs up. Give her some love. She's been working for a while to get there. Oh, Miss Mac became a YouTube member. Well, thank you very much. Love the baby modulator. Yeah, that's we use that. We probably need to use it a little more sparingly. I've got a couple others on there, but like I said, sparingly. People can get a little bit burned out of it easily. We have we got, that's about 8:30. Yeah, we still got a little bit more time. I just want to make sure that I'm not running too late. I've got so much crap to do for this weekend. I've got a what is it? Low pressure, or was it? Yeah, low volume, high pressure spray gun that's supposed to be coming in today, and see, Brogo says, thank you guys. Love you a long time. No, I've got a table that needs to get a spray finish on it. I've got to sand it out to get rid of all of the little bumps and ridges from the epoxy that I put on there, and then it's got to be hit with some spar urethane, and that stuff, man, it reeks whenever you makes contact with the epoxy, but it makes it really, really solid, and it looks pretty. So that's what I'm going to be working on. Good morning from Ontario, California. Well, welcome, Joseph Willman. Welcome. Just a gathering nuts. Hey, that's why I put it in there. So, and I'll explain this. Probably should put this on the website at some point. Becoming a member to this channel, the lowest amount you possibly can do, and I think it's $1.99. It is the same benefit as the higher one. The higher one is there for people that like to spend more money, but you get the same benefits and privileges. I don't really give anything special out to higher tier members. It's sort of like people that want a super chat. It's the super chat lowest amount is absolutely fine. I have a real job. the super chats are always nice to see because you can really like point out something somebody wants to say something very important. I do super chats for music, and that's what we're going to be working on here shortly. Is we'll be pulling up some music. Do you lay a pane of safety glass on top of protect the table from scratches? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't do shiny epoxy. So what I have is a table that will be outside, and it sits out in the sun. It gets a boat epoxy, and then it gets a coat of spar urethane that gets rid of the shine, because I don't like having that something like that shiny outside. It's really pretty too. The table has it has epoxy. The inlay is a burled maple, and it's something that I built originally about five years ago, and the first tabletop like completely failed. That was before I started using epoxy, or I probably would have done that whole tabletop in epoxy and made it nice and smooth. I think I have pictures of it here somewhere, of the actual table. Give me a minute and I'll find them, because the table's really pretty. And it was something that my wife came up with and said, "Hey, this is what I want." And I was like, "Well, let me see what I can do." So I built this table out for her, and she was pretty damn happy with it. Let me see if I've got it in here. Let's see. Let's see the table. Oh yeah. So here is the original table before I did a finish on it. So this was a spar urethane. What was that? I thought I super chat already. Gotcha. 100. Let's go. No, thank you so much, Mrs. Mac. You did do a super chat already. Good Lord Almighty, you did great. Gosh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And here, I'll give you a nice good one for you. How's that? Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Mrs. Mac, for a super chat. I love it. No, the super chat, that particular the next super chat that we do, and I'll give you a choice for the next song that we'll be doing is your choice. Mrs. Mac, you put it in there, because what I do is I find something to focus in on and a style of music to do it in. And it could be just about anything. Could be just about anything. That's what I do for a super chat, is I create a nice beautiful song that will end up being posted up on the stream. Like yesterday we had one about the protesters. It's pretty damn funny. Yeah. So here I'll show you a little bit of before picture of what this looks like. And how do I do that? We'll just do this, and we'll present the share the screen. Here we go. And we'll do just this particular window so you can see. So this is the table before everything got started on it. I also have done like cutting boards for friends. I've done I did this one here, which is a for a big green egg. Pretty massive piece of equipment. That's what it looks like in its natural environment. I'll see if I've got one of the table after I got it finished. That one is probably one of the prettier ones that I've done as far as table goes. I've also done, let's see, go back quite a little bit here. Let's see, where is it? So if I go back here, I've done these, which basically is just a vase with a little circular tabletop cutout. I've done 2 of those. I like the colors on those. This is what the inside of a swing bed that I did for my wife. She wanted to have a swing bed built, and so I built this out for her. Which is, it'll handle a wine glass in there, and that's enough to handle. What do you call it? This is before we finished out the I finished out the screened-in porch. But that'll handle a twin mattress on it. And my wife absolutely loves the thing. So that was before we cut the ropes shorter. We were sort of holding off because all of that is like glassed in now. And we actually have walls, electricity. Yeah, those are the kinds of things that I do whenever I'm around the house. So whenever I say that I'm doing like work around the house, that's the kind of crap that I'm doing. Oh yeah, here we go. I've got pictures of it here. So these were some flowers that came out of our garden. And stop that screen and we'll present this one, their screen. So this is before or on the table, and I'll point it out. So this is before, whenever we were trying to get the all of it done. My wife wanted these particular, so the table, you can sort of see how it has these big gaps in it, and my wife absolutely started hating those. Like you'll see those big slats and opening spaces. So those are 2x4s, and it's made out of cypress. And you can see the little gaps in between here that needed water would get inside there and start swelling. Yeah, it would make a big damn mess. So that was a cutting board that I made for my wife. It's a massive cutting board. You have no idea. That's a mixture of burled maple and cherry. So each slat in there is tried to mix and match them so they have different colors. And that center piece, if I'm not mistaken, is a piece of really dark cherry, but whenever it got all finished out, it looked almost identical. But that is a 26 by like 32-inch cutting board. It also has that was whenever a thing was getting glued together, but it also has a ridge on the inside of it. So whenever you're cutting something like a turkey on it, any juice that flows out of it will get captured in the trough around it. There's a name, I can't remember what it's called. Swing big. Oh yeah, giggity. You know it. You know it, baby. But yeah, that's what I do for like around the house and crap like that. I also built her a glider, which was pretty cool. The table that I currently am working on, and you could, like I said, you saw the old way that it looked. Well, I sort of upgraded it with using the same wood, but the problem, like I said, we started getting swelling in some of the wood, and man, it sounds dirty, giggity. So I sanded the whole thing out, refinished it. I put in some slats in between, and I think I've got a picture of that somewhere here. See if I can find it. It is, where did I do that at? I think it's here somewhere. I'm trying to think where I saved that particular picture at. It is, because it was a pain in the butt for me to get started on. I'm bad like that. I get started on something and then focus in to make sure it's getting done. Doggone it. Stop, you scrolling little bastard. I did put it in here somewhere. I'll find it eventually. I'm really bad at this. That is not it. That is not it. Nope. Well, I can't find it, but you'll see pictures. I'll probably post those things up there and do like a little walkthrough of all the projects that we've been working on. That particular one, it was impressive woodworking. Nothing compared to some of the stuff that I've seen done. I'm always improving my skills at doing the woodworking stuff. I used to build like PA cabinets and work with a lot of plywood, and so I try to avoid that kind of crap as much as possible. Yeah. And most of what I build is by sight. So it like I built some what do you call them? End tables for our bedroom, that were partial plywood, but I did the front facing on it. So it's got a door and a drawer, and that was burled maple. And then the top of it was burled maple. So I had these extra pieces laying around, and that's what I used to fill in those slots was the burled maple. So it looks really pretty when it with the black dye in there makes the burling pop out a whole lot. It's pretty cool. But yeah, the even the little cutting board that I showed, yeah, nightstands. Thank you, nightstands. Yes. I also I built some nightstands for what the wife wanted. She was wanting matching nightstands, and so I built them and it cost less than it would normally cost if you went elsewhere. But I do have something I want to show you guys because I'm feeling like very like nice towards people. Well, this is best if it's played in the best way possible. Yeah, I'll play this in the best way possible. Here you go. There you go. Just for the guys here. Do you like to play golf? Do you like to play golf? Well, if you like to play golf, here she's dumping out her golf balls, as you can see. And what I'm going to do is we're going to have some music coming out. Want one of those? Never heard of a swing bed? Oh yeah, swing beds are pretty awesome. Yeah. So is everybody impressive wood? Well, thank you. Starzy, off to work. You take care. And bye, Star Puddletown. I just took out your putter. And she's got a heck of a swing there. Just saying. A heck of a swing. Now you want to play golf, don't you? Shame on you, dirty old men. I do have an OnlyFans account. Yeah, I've had one. The only problem is I can't get it verified because nothing on my profile fits anything, so they have a hard time placing it, so they won't verify me. No golf for me. Yeah, I just like to watch. Perfect form. Yeah, she had really good form. Yeah. What is? Oh wait, got a message. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Ah. Well, give me a second. There we go. Doggone it. I typed in something wrong. Whew. Crazy. No golf for you. Hey, Cindy. So, it is about that time. Let's get this thing rolling up in here. We're going to get the music up and running. Let's see if we've got anything from Mrs. Mac. Mrs. Mac, those are beautiful. Green egg. No idea. Those are lovely. I'm looking to see if Mrs. Mac has given me an idea for some music. And no golf for you. So I will share this tab up here. We'll pull this up. And this is the fun part. Mrs. Mac, you get the first choice, or you can pass it off to somebody. And the way that this works is we create a song and we do it. I will do the first one here for you. And just to give you an idea of what we do. Let's see. So we don't need a emo song. Maybe a fast. Here we go. Bluegrass, speed metal. Let's see. Bluegrass and speed metal song style combined style about let's see, what do we got? Got a new one. Crazy new meds. Style. What is STLE style? Damn it, I cannot spell worth a damn. Bluegrass and speed metal combined style about. Ooh, I know what we'll do. We will do this particular one. And give me just a second. It'll all make sense here shortly. It will all make sense here shortly. So don't you worry. We are going to make it. Copy that and answer 3. There we go. Bluegrass and speed metal combined style about Cynthia, retired firefighter number 42, being cancer free. There we go. We love it. We love it. And we've got techno. I'm thinking you're saying techno funk style song about landscaping chaos in the chat room and rain on your wedding day. Speed metal bluegrass fusion. So it's called Eternal Flames.
A battle for the strength and my warrior spirit burning bright. Spirit fire forward to you've reached the end. The cancer's gone. True legend. Through the darkness, you kept the fire, never giving up, pushing higher with every step. You conquered the pains and fear and fire full to you fought like a hurricane. Eternal flames burning your soul, defying odds, you're in control.
Okay, that one's okay. Let's see this one.
Fought with strength and might, a warrior spirit, burning bright in fear and fire. For two, you've reached the end, the cancer's gone and left a true legend. Through the darkness, you kept the fire, never giving up, pushing higher. With this step, you conquered the pain. Scented fire for it too. You fought like a hurricane. Eternal flames burning in your soul, defying odds, you're in control. Scented fire, fire for two, cancer free. A symbol of strength for all to see.
We're going to extend that one out just to make sure that we get it in there. And we're going to extend from there, and we're going to only do, let's see, we're going to do just version 3, extend from there. I think that's right. Yeah, extend from there. Extend. And what it'll do is it'll give us the rest of the song, and then we can add it to it. It's Cynthia that beat the cancer recently. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Can't drive right now. Only one hand to hold the steering wheel. Oh, shame on you. Shame on you, damn it. Two. Yeah, everybody likes 2. I agree. Oh yeah, you're right on. I'm in agreement there. 2. Yeah, that's why we're extending the song, so that way we end up with part 2 to see how it goes. And we'll see this one here. So that's how it is.
you kept the fire, never giving up, pushing higher. With every step, you conquered the pace. In theory, fire fights and fought like a...
Well, yeah, that was, yeah, credits were refunded on that one. And then we will extend this one even further here from 1 minute out, and we will extend this one. And we will remove this one, delete, remove, trash that one there. Okay. And then and we'll end up putting this up on the website at the end of the day, and that'll be available to anybody. Basically, check it out, enjoy, and have a good time. Cool. Yeah, I'll be able to combine all of those together in one cognitive song. So that's where we go. We go to this one right here, and we're going to go back to this. And this one was by request of Zach right here. Zach has requested a Tiano funk style song about landscaping chaos in the chat room and rain on your wedding day. Let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. So part 1, part 2, and part 3 are going to be what we do today. Oh yeah. Yes, yes, yes. This is what we like doing for you guys because it's so much damn fun. And you know, just so you guys know, the reason why I do it for a super chat on this is because creating these songs costs money. And in doing so, because as you can see, there's a certain amount of credits that you have to spend. And this way I can sort of fund those, the being able to do this kind of stuff and just come up with some really neat stuff. So the name of this is Mulch Madness.
I break it down in the garden, got my shovel in hand, landscaping skills, I'm the king of this land. Digging it, planting, working up the sweat, making sure the flowers, they be looking their best. In the chat room, things go wild every single day. Chaos reigns, ain't no peace, I gotta break away. Trolls be trolling, haters be hating with all their might, but I'm just here, dropping funky rhymes, taking it light. Mulch madness, doing the artwork with style. Chat room chaos, gotta laugh and just smile. Rain on my wedding day, can't dampen my groove, I keep it cool.
Okay, let's try the next one.
Break it down in the garden and got my shovel in hand. Landscaping skills, I'm the king of this land. Digging and planting, working up a sweat, making sure the flowers, they be looking their best. In the chat room, things go wild every single day. Chaos reigns, ain't no peace, I gotta break away. Trolls be trolling, haters be hating with all their might, but I'm just here, dropping funky rhymes, taking it light. Mulch madness, doing the artwork with style. Chat room chaos, gotta laugh and just smile. Rain on my wedding day, can't dampen my groove, I keep it cool, I'm throwing, making moves.
That's not a bad solo. Yeah, what do you think? 1 or 2? Cool. We ended up with a whole song there. Love it. That was awesome. Good idea, Zach. But you know what time it is. That time of day comes whenever we must move on to bigger, brighter, sunshinier days. We've got a stream that is about to end, about to run into that time that we have to say farewell, so long. And we're going to send you guys over to watch The Broken Baker. If you guys want to go over and say hi to Mo, I am routing everybody over to the baker this morning, because he's got a nice little piece that he's going on about with Karen Reed, and it's really awesome. Yeah, it's definitely funky. And with that, everybody, make sure that you're kind to one another. Hit the thumbs up on the way out, and whenever you're showing up to the next place, hit the thumbs up on your way in. It helps the algorithm and makes everybody happy and smile. Thumbs up for smiles. I will see you guys Monday or sometime this weekend. I'll be popping in other people's shows, but more than likely I won't be doing any stream this weekend until Monday morning. Well, I take that back. I will be doing Sunday. So I will see you guys Sunday night right here. Same bat time, same bat channel, except in the evening. And we'll be doing what we do best. And that's have some fun on our Sundays spicy chats. See you guys then. Peace.
Now I gotta call somebody to come get me because my car turned into a spaceship and I don't know how to fly it. I'm not an astronaut.